Okay, welcome back to my Let's Play of Disco Elysium on the PC. We are on day 3 in Martinez, in Brevishal. Things are sort of looking up, I guess. We've got money, $128. We started with like 0. So we're on the up and up. We've got a body in a fridge. We're making friends. We're making enemies. Life is moving on. Oh, and I bought this.
Hello, dear. There you are again.
I bought this lady's pin back. I bought it back. I know it means a lot to you. You should have it. Well, thank you, dear. I confess, I'm glad to see it again. Very honorable of you, officer. Even the lieutenant seems happy with this turn of events. Nice. Nice. Everything's looking up. Wait, hold on. Soft purr of an electric juicer comes from the kitchen. Someone is working.
Can I help you?
About my bill for tonight. There. Get that out of the way in case I get robbed or something. Who knows what. We're paid up. An aroma of spices, alcohol, and tomato hangs in the air. He's making a Bloody Mary or something. Okay. Let's talk to Titus.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Titus does not look particularly happy to see you. I'm not sure which one to open with. Found 8 cents of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardy Boy? What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardy Boy. There's 7 of us, and we're all here. He sizes you up. Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardy Boy? We ain't hiring. He shakes his head. Actually, boss, we've been talking, and we think she could maybe... This person Glenn wants to hire. He really respects her. Shut the fuck up, Glenn, he roars. I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop? Has to be good if he won't let you pursue it. Looks like the lieutenant thinks so too. So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardy Boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her. That's right, we're not talking about this. This is a private Hardy Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. And, he points at Kim, you're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you. Good, we're all watching each other. Lieutenant adjusts his spectacles. Officer, your question? There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardy sooner or later. Establish authority. Damn. This time it's gonna work. You already ruled out the first bad option that didn't. Okay. First you don't tell me someone's been raped, and then you don't say who. That's bullshit. Stop shitting your pants. You don't need to know, alright? We took care of it. He repeats, the law handled it, alright? Yeah, aren't you listening? It's done. Finito. You're not the law. I am the law. For God's sake, stop shouting, the man behind the counter shouts. Stop breaking things in my establishment. Stop provoking those oafs. They're not going to give you anything, can't you see? I can't have a police interrogation in here. People are trying to eat. Just stare your stupid hairy head off. This doesn't concern you, cafeteria manager. Of course it concerns me if you make this kind of... Easy, babes. What is this? Titus spreads his arms, smiling gently. I can't have a slap fight in my bar. It's embarrassing. We are deep in the farce territory, Lieutenant whispers to you, taking a step closer to the door. We need to cool off and re-engage later. Everyone can see you pick some wrong options. Next time you have to come up with better things to say.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Yeah, it was funny the first time. Guess what? I've connected you to the local drug trade. Like hell you have. He leans back, unruffled. There's no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock and ask the local junkies how clean your streets are in Precinct 41 Kilos. We'll do that. In the meantime, he points south, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from Terminal B to Jamrock? The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprints. He taps on his notebook, then turns to you. Detective, do you want to deliver the coup de grace? No, the thunder is his. Leave it to the lieutenant. No, do the honor. You've earned it. Thank you. He turns to face the man. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade because it's all controlled by you. You're the drug trade. It's a mighty interesting theory. He rubs his jaw, smiling. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly would outcompete the runts on the street. Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. Get rid of the gangs, the dealers, even some of the junkies. You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. He grins. For the good of the community, of course. Yes, but that just sends everyone else to Jamrock, doesn't it? You've just diverted the flow to Jamrock. You've made it our problem. We haven't done anything, but theoretically it has to be someone's problem, so it might as well be yours. He takes a sip of his beer and smiles. Titus, I'm amazed. Where's the same professionalism when it comes to other topics? You're doing great. I hardly have to interfere at all. I don't know, Lizzie. I guess theoretical things don't make me emotional. He turns to you. Now, is there anything else? I was sort of going to get my brewski on. Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 set of footprints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy boys here. The 8th Hardy, the one who's missing. She runs the thing, right? My answer is fuck off. He takes a step closer. Mind your own business. There's no 8th Hardy. I run this goddamn scene. Finally, you got something out of him. This could prove useful in the future. And here we go. Back to the usual. The woman sighs. I know. Little man raises his index finger excitedly. Fatty walked on all 4s. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints. Go fuck your mom, Dennis. Brilliant. That's more like it, boys. She turns to you. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know? Establish authority. God damn it! Tim, I'm only getting total garbage here. Please help. Lieutenant nods and turns to address the room. You know what? You guys must be the cops, because this is what cops do, right? Live in a bar, sit on their fat asses like they own the place, while the neighborhood goes to shit, corpses hang from trees, kids shoot up. Hey, we don't have to fucking take this shit, Glenn. Everyone shut up! Titus's loud baritone echoes back from the mess hall walls, and the entire cafeteria falls silent. Fuck you, man! His eyes are fixed on Kim. You didn't see the place before we got here. Fucking graffito everywhere. Congratulations on the graffito removal. He turns to Titus. Did I say Titus? Or yeah. Turns to Titus. All I see is you sitting around talking about Monica's titties while there's a rape victim. So what? What do you want from me? We took care of that fuck. Picks the beer back up. Don't let him drink that. One more push. Quick. Just don't antagonize him. You have this already. Someone's been raped. She needs counseling. We need to talk to her. Titus, he looks at her. She stops mid-sentence. That's it. You got him. He's going to give it up, but on his terms. You want to talk to her, cop? Fine. I'm going to let you talk to her, but you treat her with respect. If you don't, if you question her, harass her, Titus taps his chin with his fist. A freight train of pain, buddy. Lieutenant takes out his notes. What is her name? Plage Amandu. She's staying here at the Whirling in Rags. Real pretty one. Silvery jumpsuit. Blonde. Titus adjusts his cap. That's Amandu with an OU. Shit, the girl. The girl upstairs? That can't be her. She knows you drank so hard you forgot you were a cop. Oh, it's her. It's definitely her. It's Miss Orange Disco Dancer. Said I don't remember being a cop. Said I don't remember reality. Sure, keep my cool. No. You inexplicably add cool after the victim's name, with your eyes bulging like some wild beast. Your fingers are fidgeting, and sweat starts forming on your brows. Titus looks at you oddly. I don't understand what's so cool here. Nothing. He gives you a sideways glance. We just have a few more questions, then we'll be on our way. Whatever you do not tell him you know her. That would sound off. Calm. Normal. Try to forget this little hiccup. What was her relationship with the mercenary? Relationship? There was no fucking relationship. He raped her. That's their relationship. It was like that karaoke incident all over again. Like some of the other girls he was harassing. Okay, enough. All this is irrelevant to your stated investigation. So the rape, when was that? He did it before we killed him. He's not going to do it again. He crushes his half-empty beer can. So what does it matter? It would help if we establish a timeline. Alright. 2 weeks, maybe? I don't know. I need another beer. Turns to Glenn. Here you go, boss. Tall blonde throws him a can. Titus cracks it open. So, what is your relationship with her? I know her. He looks around and uncommon silence fills the room. How well do you know her? Well enough, Copper. We partied. She's been here for a few months. Crosses his arms. So she's not from around here. You mean Revachol? Nah, she's an immigrant or drifter of some sort. Been staying here over the winter. Don't you give her any more trouble, fat guy blurts out. She's just had some bad luck, that's all. Shut up, Angie. Slaps his forehead. She doesn't need your help. Titus gives them both a look. They fall silent. What's with all the silences? It's like these guys don't know how to feel about this. You should keep picking at it. And what was up with the party and she and Titus did? It sounded fun. You said you partied. Cool, that's cool, but what did you mean? What do you think I meant? Was it sex? Yeah, pretty much. So you're saying the two of you were close? No, we just fucked, that's all, he states matter-of-factly. Not gonna give you any details if that's what you're after, so put your dick away. He really went out of his way to seem comfortable with this topic. That's all you're gonna get for now. He's doing a good job here. A commendable performance if I don't give a shit. Thank you, we'll talk to her. Points his beer can at you. Remember what I said. Freight train of pain.
Officer, what was that?
What was what? You looked strange when he mentioned the assault victim's name. He looks at you in the eye. Do you know that woman? Yes. Is there something I should know before we talk to her? Whatever you do, don't say the first thing. I didn't rape her. I didn't rape her. I met her in the hallway after I woke up. Understood. You were not in good shape Monday. She knows I didn't remember being a cop. Okay, he nods. That's manageable. Then let's move on. He nods. We'll be all right, officer. This is nothing. You feel fortified by his assurance. It's gonna be all right. Is it, though? Nothing? You're still in for a bumpy ride here. Try not to mess it up. All right. Oh, we got another skill point. Maybe rhetoric. You know, it's that question again of focusing on balancing things out or focusing on what I know. And I think it's just better to go with what I know. You know, there are some special situations where I'll put points into crap like perception, but I'm thinking rhetoric again. We do a lot of talking. Knock. Who is it? A woman's voice answers, muffled by the door. Tired, controlled. This is the police. Can we come in? Come on up, the door's open, she shouts. I'm drying my hair. Piles of dirty clothes, a woman's. Take her trash, you know, clean up for her. It's a nice thing to do. Hotel bill calculations. Looks like she's had an extended stay. She's made around 4 months of payments for this room. See the yard below. Corpse is no longer there. This medicine cabinet is full of wares, sheets of pills haphazardly stacked on top of another. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there. Look at the toothbrush. It's been used quite a lot. Look at the medications. Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet and pill bottle next to pill bottle. Pill bottle. Acetylenic acid, AP, eye drops, blood thinners. There's quite the collection in here. Anything of note? He asked in a lowered voice. Search the bottles. Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoparidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads Nacra. Nacra. This is used to treat opioid overdoses. Always handy to have around. Nacra, opioid antagonist. Interesting. It's used for diamorphine overdoses. Lieutenant nods and looks at the door. Search the pill sheets. Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gotwaldian, marked red blister packs, you find... What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how. A bright orange bottle with Preptide stamped on it in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container. What's so exciting about this orange bottle? It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders, but what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed. Lieutenant, I also see a brand called Preptide. Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed. Fuck you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy. No. Clean. Clean, baby. Bed has been hastily made. Smell of cigarette smoke in the air. Astra menthol. Cold coffee in an ashtray. It looks like a hedgehog. This is a small, heavy door. There's no lock in sight. Where does this lead to? I don't know. He makes a note in his notebook. It's not the first closed door we found in this building. There's also your mysterious blue kitchen door. You think it's important? I don't know. The further we get, the more this building seems to be tied to the case. Below, the hostile cafeteria creaks and groans under your added weight. A skeleton of composite support beams and cantilevers. Tap on the roof with your foot. A dull thump. Somewhere inside, a wind brace rattles from the imperceptible motion of the building. The vigilantes, the cadaver, and he nods toward the young woman. A number of people connected to the case are in or around this building. This door is part of it. It's not unimportant. See, the main investigation and the door below are merging into a stereo investigation. I hate it when that happens. Push. It's barred from the inside. You hear the bar rattle in the brackets. Kick the door in. Shit, man. Why if you're gonna kick a door in, that's not how you do it. You kick it, gung-ho style, entering the premises style. But the door fails to respect the force. All you hear is the bar rattling inside, laughing at you. Like you want to kick it with the bottom of your foot, like really close to the handle. So you just, you know. You're not trying to actually break the door off its hinges. Alright. The woman nods approving. Let's trash the place. Let's not.
Welcome to the roof.
The young woman has a cigarette in one hand and a cup of coffee in the other. Below her silvery jumpsuit, an athletic young body, built long and lean.
I'm sorry for the mess down there. The cleaning lady hasn't come by in days. I'm beginning to wonder if she ever will.
Nice view you've got here.
It's much nicer now.
Her eyes wandered north toward her yard, where the dead body used to hang, clearly visible from the roof, but no longer.
Thank you for that, officers. Truly.
There's something in her light brown eyes, sadness, when she thinks about the death of that man. You mentioned a cleaning lady. I think I need one.
Oh yes, legends of room number 1 have made their way around the building. They say a portal to hell is opened in there.
Disco Infernum.
They also say that's why the cleaning lady quit. Because of the infernum.
I'm Kim Kitsuragi. I'm a detective from Precinct 57. I believe you have already met my colleague from Precinct 41.
Have I ever? Have you grown accustomed to your role as a police officer?
Once a cop, always a cop.
Like riding a capo cycle.
Takes a sip of her coffee.
Miss, we are investigating the murder of the man down there. The people who put him there have asked us to talk to you.
I see.
Takes a pensive drag of her menthol cigarette. Be careful. Ask something else first. When you go there, use words like, I hear you have been through something difficult. What is your name, miss, for the record? Plage Amandu. Same name the Titus gave you. It sounds Oranges, as does her accent. Are you from Orange? Right, sir. Bradford, Republic of Orange. I guess you could say I'm an Oranges expatriate. What do you do, miss? What is your specialization? Something stupid. What's that? Oranges lit. Oranges lit? Oranges literature. It's what I studied at the university. She raises both eyebrows. What is Oranges literature about? Fear of failure, fear of death, how it sucks to be Oranges. All national literatures are. Only the name of the nation changes. What about Revacholian literature? People sometimes reveal things about themselves when they discuss such matters. Revacholian literature too? No, she seems glad you asked. Revacholian lit is about how magnificent and serious Revachol is. It's about how you have to save the world. The world is unimportant. I want to hear about you. Strange, usually the Revacholian hero does not save women. She breathes in the menthol-flavored fume, savoring it. Then breathes out. It's a frivolous pursuit. He saves all of mankind instead. She seems quite relaxed for a victim of assault. But of course, what seems should not be your priority. Orange has lit. What do you do with it? Nothing. I do nothing with it. How do you make money then? Money is very important. Show her some money. Cool. She looks at the black note in your hand. I've made more money by just being than I have with Oranges lit. Being what? Many things. Roller skating instructor, secretary, Miss Orange 37. She smiles. It's the world's most tired smile. Miss Orange, now there is something you should linger on. Wouldn't it be inappropriate to linger? All things considered, very. Now linger. What is a Miss Orange 37? It's a beauty pageant. Held in the year of our century 37 in Orange. It's a beauty pageant. It's a competition. She takes a drag. For stupid girls. Men look at them and choose the most beautiful. What is beauty? When you have the fewest deviations from the norm. I've been told it's a type of mediocrity that I possess. So you were the most beautiful. Yes, and for that I got a crown and a sash, and a scepter, and a scholarship to study Oranges lit. Understood. She gestures toward the table. I would offer you coffee, but it's garbage. Literally tastes like poison. She takes a sip. Could we take a look at your passport, please? I'm afraid you can't, officer. Why is that? Because it's buried in a sealed plastic bag in an undisclosed location on the coast, along with cash and airline tickets. Thank you for your candor. Why? They say so in your tourist brochure. Keep travel documents away from your person when west of the river. How do I know you've told us your real name? If I were to lie to you, I would come up with a more mainstream name than Plage Amadou. It's a weird name. She seems to be telling the truth, sire. Okay, then. Okie dokie. She pours herself more coffee. How old are you? I'm 28. She takes a drag. That's it for the record. The record. So official. Nice room we've got here. Yeah, it's pretty deluxe. What are you doing here in the whirling in rags? I'm wintering. How long have you been staying here? She calculates. About 4 months. I came in November. Bills downstairs concur. Why here? Here in the whirling, here in Martinez, or here in Revachol? Here on the Insulindian Isola. Came to see the new world, she shrugs. It's a tourist thing. This is by far not the only reason she's here. She isn't overtly hiding it either. What happened to the old New World? Turned out to be a Zareth-infested third world slum. Called Ilmara, and it didn't. Even after the mess colonized it 7 ways from Sunday, it's an industrial powerhouse. You have quite the collection of prescription drugs down there. Thank you. I put a lot of time and effort into it, she says without any discernible irony. Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her. No, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool. It was quite impressive. How did you amass such a hoard? With money, sir. She takes a drag. It's not exactly the anti-star-sized caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there. The anti-star is, or was, a Vespertine rock and roll star who liked to do drugs. He did so many drugs he eventually mutated into a corpse. Collection includes Necra, an opioid antagonist. Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids. Is that something that happens to you often, miss? His tone isn't aggressive, just inquisitive. Better safe than sorry. She takes a drag and smiles. You seem to have, among other things, Preptide. Oh yes, one of my favorites. Cures many ailments. Like what? Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours, she thinks. Not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a mirrored speed molecule, basically. That's all as far as that goes then. Very funky. She takes a drag, looking you straight in the eye. What was that, Funky Town? What's funky? Believe me, you don't want to get into that shit. She flicks the ash from her cigarette. I do. No. She leans in to inspect your sideburns. You've got it as bad as it is. Funk is an aggressive resurgence of the new aesthetic of the Revacholian 30s, but this time originating in Grad. It's brought there by the Ilmaran diaspora. Funk is more masculine and guitar-oriented than disco, even more dangerous. Where does that door lead to? You tell me, officer, when you've kicked it down. I've been wondering myself, but I'm light of foot. Not a good door kicker. I notice your room is close to mine. I have a personal question. Yes, you're just one room away. She pours herself more coffee. Very personal. Good, yes. This means she could have heard something. Like what you were doing before you blacked out. Were you in Sunday night? I need to know what I did before I lost my memory. You do not need to know that. Lieutenant taps on his notebook. What you need is to ask normal police questions, like... He waits for you to finish the sentence. Get a grip, he thinks. At least do your personal stuff when I'm not here. They tell us you've been through something difficult. Something difficult? She raises her eyebrows. I've been through at least half a dozen difficult things. Which one do you mean? Were you sexually assaulted, miss? By sexually assaulted, you mean raped? She takes a quick drag, unperturbed. Yes. It's a bit early in the morning for raped, isn't it? She sounds positively buoyant, vivacious, totally unbothered. Not that early. She looks around. The sun has risen over the sea. People are rushing to work below. It is. It's murderously early. I'm amazed I'm awake. Why am I even awake? So were you? Yeah. She draws out the word. I'm gonna go with not raped. I don't want to say that shit about him. Tell them it's not my style. They'll have to, if they want to jazz up the charges, they'll have to get someone more... She searches for the word, then shrugs. Rapeable. By they, she means the Hardy Boys. Are you saying that you were asked to tell us you were assaulted? Not explicitly, but I understood what they meant. It wouldn't hurt to spice things up a bit. Some assault and battery, sexual assault maybe. It was clear the latter would be spicier. Titus asked you to spice things up for us. Pretty much. She cradles her coffee cup in both hands, warming them. What did happen between you and the victim? We partied. Partied? Where have I heard that before? A lot of partying goes on. What kind of partying? Point to your bloated face. The kind I do? With all due respect, sir, I think we partied a little harder than that. Harder than this? I didn't know it was physically possible. Oh, it is. She takes a long drag. You're still alive. What did you do when you partied? We drank, sir. She takes a sip of her coffee. A lot. For weeks, basically. We had that effect on each other. We made each other drink harder. That's why I liked them. What else? Stimulants. Speed also has that effect, making you drink harder. And then drinking harder makes you do more speed. It's quite the combination. We also had sex. Were feelings involved? A little. The drugs were good enough, and we did enough of them. How did you two meet? Lieutenant's voice is quiet, calm. Downstairs. She taps on the roof with her 10-centimeter heel. At the bar. He was on some sort of assignment. A military man, as you probably know. Had a cool, scary scar. She appears aloof with that scar part. The scary is stressed and drawn out. What's that about? Apprehension? With longing. She misses him. When was this? A month ago? Something like that. It must have been hard for you, seeing him there. Oh yes, she says bitterly. I've had a great view from the roof, out of the bathroom window, in my dreams. A bitter cringe. It hurts. You look to the lieutenant. You called us, the RCM. Yes. Jackpot. Say nothing. I made it, she nods, and I would appreciate it if you didn't tell everyone. In Martinez, they call it snitching. Reporting crimes is confidential in Revachol, miss. Before we go on, if it's snitching, then why do it? Because I couldn't handle it anymore. She takes a drag, her voice thick with disgust. None of these people called. He just kept hanging there. Then they started stripping him. The caller's voice was disguised. I didn't exactly disguise it. I just muffled the mic and nicked the landline a little. Nicked it how? With nail clippers. I diverted some radio fuzz into it, into the cold wire. So that's why the phone was out of order. She tampered with the whirling landline. And in the process, you broke the landline downstairs. Did I? She looks into her coffee. Fuck, I didn't mean to. I had no idea what I was doing. Jigsaw falling into place. This is satisfying. Good catch, I appreciate the symmetry. Why go through all the trouble? I don't know, sir. It was stupid. I was drunk, too. I was probably afraid the Union was listening in. Locals say they have ears on the wire. Thank you for making the call, miss. It was the right thing to do. I didn't want to, sir, but if I hadn't, he'd still be hanging there. What can you tell me about him? Name, eyes, age? I'm sorry, I can't do it. She puffs on her cigarette. Not right now. Later, maybe. I keep seeing him, like he is now. I can't talk about his, I don't know, hair. Another puff, more nervous. I know it's difficult, miss. We can return to it later. She meant she sees him in her dreams. I've also seen him in a dream. You have? Not like I do, I imagine. She's run out of cigarette. Time to light a new one. She sees them in each other's arms. You're in each other's arms. Yes, and then he's dead, his mouth agape. She looks into the light green pack of cigarettes and pulls out another one, preparing to light it. I see him as me. She dips the cigarette in the lighter's flame and inhales, then looks at you with her lungs full of smoke. I can see the similarity, yes. She breathes out through her nostrils. The air smells of menthol. Funny, the lieutenant says softly. Funny how? Nothing, he nods toward the yard. I also saw him. We had a long inspection, and that sort of thing sticks with you. Let's move on. What? What did they hang him for, if not rape? He had something to do with the strike. One has been roiling since I got here. Rotten timing, she thinks. But you probably know all about it. And his role in the strike was what? I think he was in a security detail. He was ex-military, worked for Wild Pines, and against the Union. We didn't discuss work much, if you know what I mean, but I understood it was dangerous. And they lynched him for it? She nods. How do the Hardy Boys know you? They're frequent guests downstairs. She looks at the floor. It's tarred. They have a booth for Union members. They're probably down there now. And how did you meet? Over drinks. It's been a long, boring winter. Did you party? A little, yeah. Like you party with the deceased. No, not as hard. I'm sorry to have to ask this, but have you had a physical relationship with any of the Hardy Boys? I have. Which one? Which ones, sir? I don't remember precisely. Titus, obviously, but as I said, it's been a long winter. Could that have been part of the reason they hanged him? Could that be why they lynched him? Jealousy? I hope not. A pause. Actually, I know that's not the reason. I'm careful about that kind of thing. Not crossing the wires, you know. But that's probably where they got the rape idea. What do you mean? Men like that? I don't know. Another pause. It's the way their imaginations work. I suspect it's what they'd like to do to me. She changes balance from one foot to another, crossing her legs. Are you sure you weren't raped? I'm 89% sure. Does that mean you're 11% not sure? You know how it is. Do you? Actually, I don't. She flicks a bit of ash away. Maybe you don't. The ash lands on her jumpsuit. She brushes it off. In conclusion, officer, I'm going to go with a mild to medium not raped here. Lieutenant, I don't know what to say about this. I'm sorry, miss, but we need a definite statement. Let me make this 100% clear then, officers. I was not sexually assaulted. Would I be this flippant if I had been? Thank you for telling us all of this, miss. She breathes a silvery sigh of relief and weariness. The air on the roof feels humid. We should head back downstairs, officer. Lieutenant looks at you. We may have things to discuss there. Let's go. Those Hardy Boys.
Looks like we have more to discuss with those so-called Hardy Boys. Half their reasoning just went out the window.
Think this will make them cooperate? Nothing will make them respect the RCM, but it will disrupt the game they prepared for us. We just stripped off one layer of whatever it is. Her decision to not corroborate their story was definitely not part of the plan. Why did she tell us all that? What else could she have done? Lie? She saw there was no way to lie and get away with it. I'm not sure she had to lie. I wouldn't have known. If not you, then me. It was a smart move from her. Something is off here. You think so? A shadow runs across his face. She seemed forthcoming, unusually so. Being forthcoming about some things is a good way to obscure other things. The best liars are always forthcoming. Anyway, we should move. I suspect our investigation will bring us back here soon enough. Great. Everything's always mysteries wrapped in mysteries. But we're gonna nail some Hardy Boys to the wall.
It's you again. What is it?
Flage says she wasn't raped. Fuck. Big man's eyes and veins bulge. I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted. You've hit a nerve. Titus is furious. No, more than that. The loyal Titus feels betrayed. For the record, she steps in forcefully. Titus Hardy did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her. Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He turns back to you. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea. She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down. She doesn't fucking trust you. Yeah, she's crazy, you know, rat-faced man says carefully. Crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up. This is a diversion. Stay on track. Cut the bullshit. She told me the truth. Lawman, he says through clenched teeth. I am at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her. You went and pushed her. Something breaks in him. He takes a step closer and says, I'm gonna fucking Titus Hardy. Her voice rings through the room like a warning shot. Everett personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardy, are gonna be buried. Am I understood? When she's angry, she emphasizes the is. Gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Frankly, it's a bit terrifying. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command. Look, Copper. Tattooed man snaps his fingers to get your attention. We know the dead fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. Turns to Titus, who's still breathing heavily. What's the harm, right? Here, jerkwad. He slams an audio tape on the table. Listen to this shit, and then come back and tell me the soldier of Apocalypse was an innocent man. This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point you don't need to. Why should I care about the tape? You lied to me. You don't care about evidence? His eye twitches. The fuck are you a cop for, then? Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They're fucking keeping score on their bulletin boards. I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about. There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it and they'll have nothing to hide behind. So what's on this tape? What's on it? We call it the Door Gunner Mega Mix. You'll know why once you listen to it. Now that is intriguing. You had me a door gunner. Where did you get this tape? You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that. Actually, there are a few. Crypto analyst, radio officer. Actually, there are numerous degrees you can get in signals intelligence. Yeah, like you have one? Smart ass. He looks to his left. There's a beer there that he forgot. Beer. So you bug them. How? We have machines. He nods. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff. Understood. You've listened in on their communications. He takes a little note. How long? Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons. Things got nice and quiet after that. Which one of you is doing this advanced radio work then? It's not advanced, the heavy man wheezes. You just hold up in a coop all day writing down what they say. It's hot as hell in there. Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work. The chief picks his beer back up to offer a silent toast. Yeah, man, you're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit. It's enough for now. I'll get back to the investigation. Don't forget your tape, lawman. Pushes the little tape toward you with his giant hand. Compliments of Titus Hardy. Fine, I'll listen to it. You do that, he says, adjusting his belt buckle. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday. Yeah, you know, you sort of have to wonder, like, how many points do I really need in logic? How many points do you really need in anything to be sure? I'd rather go with suggestion. I think it keeps coming up all the time. Or maybe that's just my perception of it. Alright, so we have a tape. And we have the boombox. Yeah. Porta-reel is just what you needed. The reel is attached to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. Play the tape. Jesus Christ. Rip headphone users. You push commence and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sound fills the air. This isn't Revachol, a man's voice says. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants. Another loud screech. Some kind of machinery. The harbor. Kim takes out his notebook. That's the sound of a Cavalsund crane. More static. When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the apocalypse style. Kill shit, dogs, and chickens, too. Gonna rent a room, Cordy. A real nice one. This part is unintelligible. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. Done mentally. Fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, that dancer whore upstairs. Do it Lee Schmin style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth. Click, then silence. The rest of the tape is empty. Lieutenant presses the button marked Arrêté on your porta-reel. Tape stops spinning. I mean, that's stop if you really need the French translation. What was that at the very end? Silence? End of recording. What do you think? It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off their shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls. I agree. He also sounded inebriated. Still, Lieutenant looks at the tape. You are familiar with this look now. It's his look of suspicion. There's more going on here than we know. Who's this Cordy? One of the other mercenaries, I think. The one he was talking to. Friend of his? What's Lee Schmin? A village on the Samara Isla in TNN. Grodd committed war crimes there. The kind of thing he talks about. The TNN conflict is an ongoing proxy war between Grodd and Safre. It has been hot for 12 years with the atrocities piling on. Mostly committed by the Grodd. You think he was there? Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. Or maybe Lee Schmin is just merc talk for atrocity. Slaughter. Symbol of soldier of apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment. Okay then, what now? I think we've got a few more questions for Claude, don't you think? He looks around. This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree. You're right. Let's get a move on. We'll get to the bottom of all this. I'm like losing my voice though. I've recorded like 3 of these in one sitting. A lot of talking.
I was just thinking, what a nice day for questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
Titus Hardy gave us a recording where the deceased states his intention to commit rape. She puts her coffee cup down. Did he? A smile flits across her face. I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me. She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused. On this tape, he specifically identifies you as the target. Where did they get this recording exactly? It's an intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via a de-encryption station. It's authentic enough. She arches her brow. Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier the Apocalypse style? Those are the exact words he used. Yeah, that was practically his pickup line. She picks the cup back up. A memory surfaces in her tired neocortex. It's not entirely unpleasant. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Lee Schmin style? Lee Schmin was mentioned. He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Lee Schmin. It was in his everything. Why say things like that? Machismo? Yeah, was he bragging? Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things, then integrated them into his idea of normalcy to keep on living. Until they just sort of turned into his, she thinks. What's the word I'm looking for? She's quite observant about the human character. Trained to observe, even. You learned this from studying Orange's Lit? Sounds psychological. People who go to university know how to use words like internalize and integrate, officer. And what was that expression? She's still looking for it. There's more to this. She has an index in her head of pathologies and how to exploit them. You can almost see her turn the pages. Coping mechanism? Running joke. I was going to say running joke, and it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Lee Schmin massacre, and the 36 famine in Yisit all rolled into one person and cast in Orange's ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower. Weren't you afraid? Afraid of what? That tape the Hardy Boys recorded? Your mother probably never told you this, but girls are evil. Had I the physical robustness and social support, I'd be in Lee Schmin. I would be tearing it up, Soldier the Apocalypse style. Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? Here in Martinez, I mean. No, we were too busy laying waste our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed, she thinks, happy, I guess. At ease, as much as a man like him could be. There was a small measure of pride in her, that she could quell the rage in such a being. What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it. Thank you for clearing that up, miss. He turns to you. Whenever you're ready, I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardy has to say now. She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles. Now that you've had some time, can you tell us more about the victim? Like, for example, his name. Actually, officer, I don't know his name. I just called him Lely. Nickname? I guess. He came from Lelystad, short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use. Lelystad. It's a good start. Lieutenant writes it down in his notebook and tears out a page and hands it to you. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer. The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observation recorded neatly in blue ink. Last, missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh. Where is Lelystad? The place, I mean. In Orange, officer. It's, I think municipality is the term. A nowhere town there. The Lelystad municipality has few boroughs and even fewer cities. It's made of agricultural plots near the border of Gottwald. Executive summary, cows, silos, and wheat. You're almost right, officer. Lieutenant shakes his head like he just missed a shot in darts. That means his race was Occidental, not Mondio. I'll update the form. You were both from Orange? Yes, we were compatriots. Did that bring you together? No, he was too old for that, and from another part of Orange Genric. I didn't even understand his accent. What brought us together wasn't Orange, it was bad habits. Sex, alcohol. No love for a mother Orange, but wasn't he a soldier? This could be worth pursuing. Military man, but not a patriot? No, he left the national service after they taught him to do what he did on Seminine. He wasn't the flag-waving kind. He was the making money, killing people kind. He was by no means a stupid man. She takes a long drag of her cigarette, then washes it down with coffee. A people person, a small platoon leader, certainly not a patriot. You don't seem like much of a patriot yourself. She hums. There's nothing on Monday. The old world is dead, and we both knew it. Maybe Orange did bring us together, in loathing. I love Revachol, though. She looks around, the wind in her hair. I hope she loves me, too. A column of air encircles her, brushing gently on the metallic silver fabric that covers her shoulders and her long, slender arms. Revachol chooses carefully. True, it did not love him. Feeling dissipates. Cold passes. The woman's eyes follow yours to the piece of notebook paper. How old was he, miss? He was 42. 42, are you sure? I would have had him above 50. He had many scars that made him appear older, but no. Memory makes her smile. We even celebrated his birthday, like some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. You had little reason to lie to me. Looks like you were right, officer. Lieutenant taps on his notebook once, as though assigning some kind of point. Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die. Better not to mention it. Young woman looks at you, then the lieutenant, then you. She's clearly sensing something. A spike in testosterone levels. Testosterone levels, perhaps. His eye color? Blue. Light blue. They were like... She stops, her eyes half closed, then continues. Like little blue galaxies, you know. It was strange seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. She takes a drag. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly, and he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something watching him speak. He had a combat wound. On his chin and mouth? Yes, severe. She seems to enjoy the word. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes. Oh yes, Lieutenant suddenly remembers. His hair, if you can remember. It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone. I said to put the brilliantine on the form. I don't remember mentioning that. I too have stroked his hair. Oily, isn't it? She says, unfazed. She draws on her cigarette and lets the smoke linger for a moment in her mouth. We have that in common now. Kim, I said to put the brilliantine on the form. Do I get a point? No, he answers dryly. But I put it down there. Okay, sure, here you go. What else are we missing, officer? He asks, trying to get the questioning back on track. 5 XP, baby. He had a tattoo. What did it mean? Oh, she smiles. That. It's clear she liked it. He liked it. Quite a lot, yes. It was a map of his service history? Sure, service history. It's mostly for showing off the chicks, though. For showing off the chicks? How so? How? She leans back. Imagine him lying in bed, freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason. Is this Orange's lit? Yes, this is the very essence of Orange's lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself. She leans even further back to demonstrate. He's smoking and drinking, of course, and his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them, maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like... She points at the air with her sharp-nailed finger, picking out an imaginary tattoo star. What was this, baby? And he says, she lowers her voice comically, that was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that. So she goes, okay, well, what's this, baby? And he's like, saw some bad shit there, killed some loincloths. And so it goes, star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them. You were the woman in this? Oh yeah, she nods. Can you tell us precisely what these mean? No, thank you. She does not take it. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them. She pours herself some coffee. Go on. He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Orange needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer for money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredfort. Then he killed some people on the Seminine Islands, and on the other islands too. All the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself. Not a very fun story. It is when you're high. It can be very exciting then. You have the tools to deal with it. It's not a very nice story to remember when you're sober. She smiles faintly. A change of topic. Could it be love that did him in? It very well could be, yes. What do you mean? What do I mean? She raises an eyebrow. I have no idea. I don't even know what you mean. Love did him in? What does that mean? He told me. Love did him in. That's not funny, officer. Something miraculous is coming. He told me. The man next to you blinks. His expression does not change. Alright, let's see where this is going. From way out in the northwest. He told me. Cool. The woman nods. There's a sound. Something in the reeds when the wind combs through them. On the inlet, on the little islands there between castaway tires. There is something we have all forgotten. Her light brown eyes fix on yours, then disappear behind her bangs as she drops her chin. She agrees. We ordered a toxicology report. Any idea what that will show us? A real rainbow splattering of pharmaceuticals, I bet. She grins. Barbiturates, amphetamines, sildenafil. How much does that toxicology report cost the police of Revachol? I can do it for half of that. Save you some money, make some myself. It's quite expensive, miss, but we'll manage without your help for now. I think we're finished with this line of questioning. Alright. Lieutenant puts the slip back in his notes and observes the young woman for a moment. Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself some more coffee. Look her in the eye. She looks back. Time moves slowly. Triangles of her face rearranging into a weary smile. Don't worry. We will protect you from her beauty. We will consult you through the reefs and sounds of her persona. We will see through deceits. You are shielded. You are wise. You are advised. There are muscles on long white bones that line her limbs just below the silver jumpsuit. What is happening? Nothing. Just time passing. Don't worry. Anything out of the ordinary and you would be notified. Air moves in your windpipe. Your heart beats. You're a detective. Get back to detecting. Am I being beguiled? She presses her elbows against her waist and slowly turns her head. Avert your eyes. Strange moment ends. It was brief, no longer than 2.2 seconds. Interesting. Why not? I'll be here until 2300, drinking coffee, most likely. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42. That's what she said, yes. Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality, he was 42 years old. Where's this going? How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? Kim, how old do you think I am? Huh? Lieutenant isn't quite sure he heard you. How old do I look? How old? 58. Maybe you're wrong. You were wrong about the deceased, too. He was way younger. He was deceased. He had been decomposing for a week. I feel like I've been decomposing for longer than that. On the bright side, I've been getting a lot of exercise lately. Ravages of Al Ghul are nearly as extreme as that of death itself, Lieutenant Kitsuragi. There's silence. Then a little more. Here it comes. Mercy. Sure, you're 42. He squints. Let's go. Wait, this requires scientific measurements. Bring it on. I'm not afraid of the truth. To the laboratorium. Date of birth generator. Okay. I mean, maybe we'll get to that. Alright, I'm done talking, so we'll leave it off here. Next time we'll head back down, speak to Titus and the Hardy Boys some more. Getting somewhere with this main case. My name is Mangg. Game watching has been Disco Elysium. I'll see you fine folks in the next part.